love, this is Alyssa. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, this channel is all about helping Christian women better themselves so they can live the life that God has for them. If that is up your alley, you might as well press subscribe, click the bell so you can be notified when my next video drops. Today's video is all about what to do when you find that you are always there for everybody else, but when it's your turn, nobody is there. Let's talk about it. I don't know if you can relate to this, but this is definitely a spot that I was in. I felt like I was always that dependable person, the responsible person, the person you could always count on. That was me, right? But when it came to me needing somebody, or even somebody just seeing that I was in need, because I felt like I could always pick up on like, oh, they must be tired. Oh, they must be going through this. But nobody was able to do that for me. I always found myself like, where are my people at? Where are my tribe at? Where are the people that like are dependable and there for me, you know? If that is you, this video is for you, okay? I found that in order for me to get out of that place, that like mindset, I really had to reevaluate and do some self-reflection. One was, you can't expect people to show up in the same way that you show up. You can't expect people to do the same things that you do for them. Everybody's not even capable of doing that. And did you actually voice those expectations? Because like, no one can show up for you in a way that you haven't even voiced. And in my case, that was me. What I see as common sense, what I see as the right thing to do or whatever, like my morals, my values, I had to realize that that is not the same for everybody else. Everybody else does not have the same common sense that you have. Not everybody else has the same morals, values, or the same perspective as you do, and that's okay. So if you are going to expect somebody to be a certain thing, to act a certain way, you might want to voice that. Otherwise, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, and in my case, that is what I was doing. 2, you also have to make sure that you're operating from a place that is authentic, and it's not coming from a place of not having boundaries and seeking like validation or acceptance from people. I found for me that is exactly what it was. I was a huge people pleaser. I wanted to be validated. I wanted to be accepted. So I was going over and beyond for everybody else, doing all the things, because like really deep down inside, I just wanted them to be like, oh, I really like you, she's great, you know, like, and that's deep down inside. At the time, of course, I wasn't saying that. I didn't even think that, but that is the truth, okay? The truth was, I was looking for people to see the work and validate me based off the work. But I've learned that you are not validated by works, okay? The whole principle of Jesus dying on the cross is that works do not work. We are validated by God's grace and his love, period, okay? So you have to make sure that you're operating from a place that is authentic, that you're not doing things going over and beyond, being a perfectionist and all these things, because really deep down inside you want somebody to love and accept you for you. That is also a way to set yourself up for failure, because you cannot expect somebody to operate in the same way that you operate when you're operating from a place of not having boundaries. You can't expect somebody else to always give up their boundaries because you don't have any. That's not fair, and it's just not authentic. That's not what God has for you or for them. That is how you create a toxic or unhealthy relationship, okay? So 3, I also had to realize the difference between nice and kind, okay? As a Christian, I assumed that like the nice thing to do is to always help people. You could argue that you should always help people, but the reality is that there are times where you can't help people. There are times where you have priorities that cannot be dropped at, you know, the drop of a dime, or however they say that phrase. There are times where, no, I cannot switch my whole schedule around. No, I cannot switch my whole weekend around. No, I'm sorry that you're going through that, but I can't, I don't know how to help you. You know, that is perfectly fine, because there are times where you are going through and you don't have the capacity to even help someone else out. I have been in places where I am literally on E. I have been in places where I literally got sick because I ran myself down to the ground and did not stop until I couldn't get out of bed. I didn't have capacity, but I'm trying to help somebody else with their goals, the things that they have to do, their priorities, but I'm not even getting my own stuff done. I'm not even, you know, putting my priorities first. I'm not putting my husband first. I'm not putting my kid first. There are times where like you literally don't have the capacity, and like you cannot just be an Energizer bunny and do all the things for everybody else. You can't. That's the reality, and that's okay. Put your mental health first. Put your mental health first. So you have to know the difference between being nice and kind. Nice will have you going into that people-pleasing mode where you are trying to please them. You are trying to give them all the answers that sound really good. So if they're reaching out to you and they need help, they need your assistance, you are going to say yes because you feel that that is the answer they want to hear. You can't do that. Nice will also have you going with their flow and compromising on your own values, your own priorities. You don't want to be compromising on things that are essential to your well-being. It's perfectly fine to help someone. I'm not saying don't help anyone. I'm not saying that there are moments where like, yeah, like someone's, you know, drastically struggling and you might have to sacrifice a little bit. But if that is your regular, you have to reevaluate, and you have to be honest with yourself and say like, hey, I am being nice. I need to be kind. I need to work on having some boundaries. Being kind is putting your values first, but also like honoring and respecting someone else. Like respecting that, wow, they have issues as well. Can I help them? Nice is like literally you're just putting them before you. You don't even think about yourself. You don't even think about your priorities. You just up, jump, rearrange everything for someone else. Kindness is you're considering yourself, but you're also like respecting and honoring someone else's things that they have going on as well. Kindness is also being there, but not necessarily rescuing them. Not feeling the urge to rescue someone every time. You cannot rescue everybody. There are certain things that people have to go through, and if you just continue to rescue them, they become dependent on you. So a lot of the times we're in this mindset of feeling like nobody's there for me, nobody shows up how I show up. And in my case, it was honestly because I had no boundaries. So I was doing the absolute most, and I was expecting someone to do the same. I was expecting someone to not have boundaries like me. I was expecting someone to rise to the occasion how I rose to the occasion. I wasn't realizing that not everybody has the capacity to do that. Even if I was operating, because I consider myself like more of a type A person, granted, I don't always fit in that box. God can do what he wants to do, but I am a person that I like systems, I like order, I like helping people. I love doing that type of stuff. So I can't just be expecting everybody to operate in the same way that I do. That's not their lane. It's my lane, and that's fine. So if you are in a place where you're feeling like, where's my tribe at? Why am I the only one showing up and nobody's there for me? Evaluate. Maybe you're like I was, where you don't have those boundaries. You don't have the nice versus kind thing figured out. Maybe you are not voicing your expectations. Maybe they're unrealistic expectations. Or maybe you just need to switch up your circle. Maybe you just need to put yourself out there to find some new friends, some new family, a new tribe. And that's okay too. But don't think that you are in this world alone, that you're the only one feeling the way that you're feeling. You are not alone. And there are people out there that when you are your authentic self, when you are in your lane, when you are living the life that God has for you, there are people that will like you just for you. There are people that will show up for you. There are people that are not going to let you, be the only one giving in the relationship. There are people that can actually partner with you and y'all can have a good relationship. Don't let bad relationships, bad friends, bad people, if you want to call it that, prevent you from finding your tribe, finding people that care about you. God is crazy about you, okay? God wants you to have healthy friendships, healthy relationships. He wants you to find that tribe. He also wants you to live a life abundantly, authentically, and not worrying about pleasing other people. Well, I hope that this video helped somebody. Let me know below if you could relate to this, if any of this was true for you. And as always, make sure you like this video, subscribe, click the bell, and join the conversation on Instagram. Send me a DM if you watch this. Until next time, happy healing.